It's time for an Upcycle. Welcome to my 7-part sustainable design series where I show y'all how to shop secondhand, rework, and reuse what you have to create beautiful spaces. Not only in this series will I be showing you how to create beautiful spaces top to bottom, all for under $500, I will also have a special little segment called It's Time for an Heirloom Flip, where I show you all how you can rework those beautiful heirloom pieces that might have been left to you that may not be your style, but they still have sentimental meaning and you want to use them in your home. And last but not least, at the end of every episode, I will have a special tip from some of my favorite influencers. Today, it is all about a back patio area. Let's do it. This is the space we're working with outside. It's a great little patio. It's got French doors right here that lead from the kitchen and the dining room outside. And this little area over here, actually last week was all grass. However, I put some 18 by 18 pavers buried down into the grass a little bit. It's actually a pretty cost-effective project and quite simple. So now it is time to clear and clean this patio. So I'm just gonna put an industrial curtain rod all the way around the interior of the porch and use some little clips to turn these big 9 by 12 painter tarps into curtains. I'm mounting heavy-duty curtain rods up here so they definitely can handle the Texas wind. These little clips make my curtains slide easy and I don't have to sew. I've got my little clips clipped on, and remember, this is gonna be super long, but you can always take away fabric, but you cannot add it. Now that I have all the curtains hanging, I can come through and trim them to the correct length. Let's work on a little lighting element. It's raining outside, but that's okay. We can upcycle in the rain. This is a thrifted aquarium. If you all ever need a glass aquarium, please hit the thrift store first because these things are expensive in the pet store. This had some rocks and some sand in it, so I put in a little bit of bleach, a little bit of soap, and I'm just cleaning it out. Cleaned it with glass cleaner and now loading it with pea gravel and then my candles. This is the before of the secondhand farmhouse table we're gonna make into a coffee table. Here is this dining room table with the legs cut off. They're all perfectly even. They're the perfect height to work with those day beds. Way cheaper than buying a giant farmhouse coffee table. Finding something like this on consignment, stripping it down, giving it new life, and then cutting the legs off to make it shorter into that big giant coffee table will save you a ton of cash. It's time for an heirloom flip. This is a quick little segment that I'm doing in every episode of this series. Basically, I'm gonna show you how you can rework or restyle heirlooms or things that may have been left to you, like grandma's lamp that's a little dated. You'd like to bring it into your home and have it match your style. It's got a very cool vintage vibe. Definitely need to update this. This is something that I will actually keep because it's got a really good frame on the inside of it that's metal. We'll cut all of this off, clean it up, and then I'll just take some garland at Christmas and wrap it around it and make a really fun little tree centerpiece. So definitely gonna keep that. This lamp is really old and it actually does not work. You can buy rewiring kits and rewire something like this. But the whole point of this series from me to you is to show you how to do things quick and easy so you don't get intimidated or overwhelmed because not everybody wants to rewire a lamp. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make sure the lamp is not plugged in and we are going to cut the cord off. I'm gonna come up underneath and I'm gonna cut that off. Again, please make sure things aren't plugged in. You don't need to electrocute yourself. I actually love the way this looks. I think it's really eclectic, but if you want to stay in that kind of old world brassy feel, you can use a little bit of metallic spray paint. For me, I'm just going to clean it off really well and I'm going to leave it as is. And I'm going to use, instead of a regular light bulb, a battery operated light bulb. I really like these because they tend to last a long time. You can recharge them, which is really nice. You can set them on a timer and they have a remote. Would not use one of these as your main lighting, more of accent lighting unless you want to recharge them more. But I find that I only recharge mine every couple of weeks. I have a little hook on them so you can hang them from things, or you can take that piece off and you can just screw the light bulb into any lamp. And because I'm gonna use this wireless piece for lighting outside, I wanted something to kind of go with the feel of the patio. So I'm gonna use this linen glow that I actually scored on clearance because I love mixing genres of design. For me, pretty much anything goes as long as you have good lighting. All I'm gonna do is just slide this up over my battery operated light bulb. And I have a little remote that I can turn this on and off. So if we're entertaining on the patio, then I can just set it on a remote. And they're LED so they don't get super hot. And then I've got this really fun, unique little outdoor lighting piece. I find that people often get overwhelmed with things that are left to them or that they want to use that have sentimental value, but they just don't like the way it looks. Because this series is in real time and I still have more episodes to film, please tell me below if there's anything specific that you've been left that you would like to see me flip. And I can give you some tips in my next heirloom segment. This is a little thrift piece I scored for a couple bucks. I could paint it, but I kind of like the raw wood and I want to use it as a plant feature outside without having to mount anything into the walls. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some thrifted baskets and a couple of baskets from my house and a few zip ties. I'm going to feed the zip ties through the top of each basket, and then all I'm going to do is come through zip tie them. We'll clip off any excess zip tie, and then I have this great little plant feature. My back patio has canned lighting, which I am not a fan of. Not everything has to be hardwired. So I decided to go with these lanterns that I scored last summer at a consignment store. The great thing about these is whether they are lit up or not, they look really cool. So I'm just gonna use some chain, put some little hooks in the ceiling, use those battery operated light bulbs again, and hang them all over the patio. What is this, you may ask? It is a diaper changing table. I just give it a good wash down, and we're gonna turn this into a bar cart for our back patio. I love this black evergreen color, so I'm just gonna give a couple of quick coats to this piece. I've got one coat on, and I'm actually not spray painting the very top because I'm gonna put this pretty peel and stick wallpaper on there. And then after that, I'm just gonna add some baskets underneath, style it up. But I also need wheels, which I'm gonna add. Now that we've got all of our upcycles finished and we're ready to style the patio, I wanna do something to help prevent bugs, and I know just who to ask.
What's going on, Sarah? I know you don't like bugs, so I'm gonna teach you a little bug trick. Now, I don't know if it's gonna keep scorpions away, but it might. You can take your WD-40, spray it around your porch. I like to spray it on my windows as well. It doesn't take a whole lot, just a little light coat like this. And just put a little light coat around the windows just like this. It's gonna help keep the bugs to a minimum. It's gonna definitely help keep the wasps from making nests and stuff around here. You can even spray it up there around your soffits. So if you don't know, now you know. All right, happy upcycling.
Next. Oh, thanks, Gator. I'll give it a try. All right, friend, you said around the outside of the doors and windows. I'm gonna trust you on that one. A little bit of WD-40, keep the critters and the wasps away, because you know I don't like either. Next. Thanks for the tip, Gator. Now that we've got the bugs all under control, let's style this patio with all of our fun upcycles. The pavers are put in, the patio is all clean, and the painter tarp curtains are hung up. They've also been lightly misted with water to help the wrinkles fall out, as well as a coating of fabric Scotchgard. I'm using some ceiling hooks to attach all of my lanterns over where the coffee table is going to be. Also throwing in this fabric lantern. Then I'm going to mount 2 sconces that I scored at Goodwill, along with using a little bit of Gorilla Glue to adhere a votive to them so they don't blow over in the wind. I've got a rug that I scored pretty much brand new on Marketplace, and then this little rug that I pulled from outside. Not exactly what I want, but it's definitely gonna work for now. Got the farmhouse table turned coffee table in place, plus a secondhand mirror, and then our aquarium lighting feature. Our plant baskets lean against the wall perfectly, so I'm just gonna load them with real plants, but I'm also gonna throw in a few faux pieces, like these faux fern leaves. Then I'm gonna take these decorative trash cans that I love to use, and I'm gonna load them with brand new ferns for the spring. Then we're gonna go ahead and take that diaper changing table that we painted, added wheels to, and some peel and stick wallpaper. We're gonna put a basket underneath, just for now since we're not entertaining, some greens, use some cutting boards with peel and stick wallpaper on them to make little shelves. When I do my sustainable entertaining episode, I will show you exactly how I style this for a dinner party. Our cordless heirloom flip lamp, and then we've got 2 twin day beds that I scored on Marketplace. These will act as our outdoor seating. I've got some dust ruffles that I scored at Goodwill, along with some mattresses, climate friendly, they're new mattresses, a trash find side table, and then a basket that I actually made under a table and then it broke, but now I'm gonna use it as a planter again for a fern. And to put throws on the back of each of my daybed seats. Side I brought this little ottoman that I added fringe to, a little thrift flip, and then on my daybeds, I'm just gonna add king pillows. I made some pillows out of shower curtains and table runners, make them all cozy, and then behind one of the daybeds, I'm gonna go ahead and put a bench and some potted plants, a little lantern, and then a little piece of artwork. Also went ahead and added some string lights around the patio that I had left over from a previous makeover, on a dimmer of course, and then I have all my battery operated lights flipped on, aquarium turned lighting feature. This is such a cozy, welcoming patio. My grand total for this entire makeover was $432. Cycling things I already had, thrifting items and upcycling those, finding side of the road trash items, a little bit of Facebook Marketplace, a little bit of Goodwill, shopping my own house. The only thing that I purchased new were the mattresses, which I got a great deal on, and of course, a couple of new plants. Until next time, happy upcycling.